Okay, so picture this. You're a music producer, and your next big project? It's not for some new artist, it's for a book. Your job is to take a total classic, S.E. Hinton's The Outsiders, and create a soundtrack that makes it feel like it could have been written yesterday.
And that's the big question, right? How do you take a story about greasers and socks from, over half a century ago and make it connect with us today? How do you make it feel as real and relevant as a song that just dropped on Spotify? Well, the answer? It's all in the music.
And that's exactly what this Harmonies of Tulsa project is all about. It's about building a bridge across the decades, using the music we love today to connect with the timeless themes in The Outsiders. It's about feeling the story, not just reading the words on a page.
At its heart, this whole thing is about turning a classic novel into your own personal playlist. Because let's be real, this stuff Ponyboy was feeling, not fitting in, having that fierce loyalty to his friends, dealing with sudden loss, that's the exact same stuff we hear in the songs we have on repeat right now.
So what is the mission exactly? Let's dive into the core assignment. Think of this as the creative brief for producing this one-of-a-kind soundtrack. The main goal is actually pretty straightforward. You're going to create a 12-song playlist. Simple enough, right? One song for each chapter of the book. And the key is, every single track you pick has to have a real, powerful connection to the world of Ponyboy, Johnny, and the rest of the gang. And to make those connections, you've got a few different paths you can take. You could pick a song that just screams Dally, capturing his whole rebellious vibe. Or you could find the perfect track for a specific scene, like the Rumble. You could also go big picture and find a song that taps into one of the novel's major themes, like identity or class conflict. All right, let's get into the producer's playbook. This is your step-by-step guide for taking this awesome idea and turning it into a polished, killer soundtrack that really tells a story. It all boils down to 3 simple steps. First, you curate your playlist. Pick those 12 perfect songs. Second, and this is absolutely the most important part, you have to write a short but powerful explanation for every single song. And third, you design it all in a cool slideshow. Think of it like your album art and liner notes. But here's the golden rule, the one thing you absolutely cannot forget. No matter how perfect the vibe of a song is, your written explanation has to connect it back to the novel directly. This is where you prove that your creative choices are more than just a feeling. They're backed up by the text. And check this out. Here's a perfect example of how to nail it. The song is Green Day's Boulevard of Broken Dreams. It's linked to Ponyboy through the theme of isolation. But the explanation, that's the key. It doesn't just say, the song is sad. It specifically says it matches how he feels after Johnny dies. That specific, direct link, that's what makes it a home run. Okay, so we've got the mission and we've got the playbook. Now, how do you make sure your soundtrack goes platinum or, at least gets an A? Well, it all comes down to understanding the grading rubric. Just take a look at this breakdown. You can see that your song choices, the text evidence, and your presentation are all important. They're each worth 20%. But look at that massive chunk of the pie right there. The written explanations make up a huge 40% of your total grade. 40%. I mean, that number tells you everything you need to know. And it makes sense, right? This project isn't just about whether you have good taste in music. It's about your analysis. The songs are the setup, but your explanations, that's the punchline. That's where you prove you get the book on a deep level. It is, without a doubt, the heart of this entire project. So what really separates an A-plus explanation from one that's just meh? It's all about the details. A weak one is vague, something like, this song is sad, like when Johnny died. But a great one, it's specific, it's detailed, and it creates a connection to the book that's impossible to ignore. So if you remember one thing, let it be this. Picking a cool song is only half the job. Your explanation is where you make your case. It's your evidence. It's how you prove that your song doesn't just kind of fit the story, it absolutely belongs there. And that kind of leaves you with a final thought, doesn't it? This idea is way too cool to just stop with one book. It makes you wonder, what other story out there is just waiting for someone to create its perfect modern soundtrack? What book would you pick?